The video is made for progeny and posterity alike. And these are a conversation, a discussion on the ball and body and how to operate on the plane with the sphere and how to navigate the game. Well, things to do, things not to do, movements, a whole lot of step and touch patterns, and talking about vectors and momentum and angles. These are the players. So it almost always, and never not, it begins with stretching out. This is the first light tension to prepare the muscles for activity, and this is as important as anything else. It's a principal part, it's a principal step before you even get into operating, get into playing, because one must reach operating temperature. So that's exciting the muscles enough, at least getting the blood fluid through them, and in this way warming them up. So then there's the stretch, static and dynamic, on the other sides of it. Well, instead of actually running through the stretch, the main focus was discussing the game matter. It was talking about what happens during the game and how to continue with it. So you begin with a side, a number against a number, and the goal is to move the sphere away from your rectangle into their rectangle as many times as one can do as possible in a given amount of time, depending on the standards of the game. Well, then those are the perimeters. So you work within them, being bipedal, and then you manipulate the locomotion that's possible for your terrain, and then that's moves and step and touch patterns that come into play. And much of the step and touch patterns are, you can also find them as, you can remember them as the plot between or you can find the step and touch pattern interposed if you were to try to imbue them into your template or into your guide or into your understanding of it, your conceptual disclosure in discursive thought, your disclosure of the concept in discursive thought. If you can imbue that into the stop and touch patterns, meaning that it becomes prompted given your agreements and disagreements and your updates and upgrades or improvements, and then also on how many hours one has ascertained the skill, the dedicated to the advancement of their competence of this series of actions. So that's another way to move forward. So there will be another venue, another forum where we'll actually have the discussion. We'll actually have the discussion and then actually see a performance with co-characters and how these tips and tricks of the trade becomes operative, and how this is demonstrated. So then there will be that period of it. The step and touch patterns are in triplets, and you can include them in triplets, but also add in the ball compass. The ball compass, it's one proprioception, where the body is in space and where the ball is in space. And then a lot of this movement is in QuickTime. And QuickTime is just a situation where you go in for a handshake with another. You are throwing rock and you're throwing scissors. If you're going for a face bump, they'll have to hand prepare for a handshake. So this is QuickTime, and usually people default, both synchronistically default and then reverse the contradiction. So but if one could hesitate in QuickTime, they're able to readjust their response. They're able to readjust their response. So that's movement in QuickTime with the ball, the sphere, and proprioception. And the step and touch pattern just comes as strategic movements around the ball, given where the opposition is positioned. So you can have different patterns setting up now. You can have an H where you have defender to the right and defender to the left, and self is in the middle. You could have triangles where division is in an equilateral triangle at all three angles, and you're in the middle. Self is in the middle. How do you navigate these different combinations? and then it all gets systematized. Well, it gets documents that it can be done by a computer. But it also can be done by a computer. You can get it down into the movement. If you can get the movement sequence down into code. And a major part of the discussion also is ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. Well, I guess the word I was looking for doesn't have that type. Is the tendency of being ambidextrous or being ambidextrous. The next thing to talk about is being ambidextrous. That is a great part of the game. Is 50% of the game that one is omitting if they are not ambidextrous. So having equal at ease of movement on left side and right side, this combination is vital for navigating. This achievement, this skill. It is vital in these different combination areas, because usually there is a disposition, there's an asymmetry that can be exploited as an outlet that's more accessible for the left, and so the right comes into play. Well, lateralization, the reverse. So all these different combinations and the ease and the comfort to move, manipulate the spherical projectile with both limbs is vital. So then that's one inclusion into the understanding of it, of playing the game. So in another moment there will be what was stated already, that there will be involvement with others, and one actually gets to see these things in action. But I believe just listening to them and trying to construct your own depiction of what these instances appear as in reality is also helpful, and they work on every level. The only difference that separates the skill, let's call them, from the unskilled in these things is how quick. There's a lot of time that's involved. How fast one can actually just get to the myelination of the circuits of muscle memory to operate in quick time, and also readjust in quick time in giving the inputs out of perception. And so all these factors are involved. All these factors are involved. And that's where the game evolves to. So when it progressively becomes more high stake, what it only is imbuing or presenting or actually changing on. The only thing you're actually changing on is the fact that you can imbue on this, you can improve on this. It only becomes faster. It happens at a quicker pace.